everybody, it's GLAMRAT here, and this week's video I am going to do my top 3 albums that have influenced my taste in music. I will probably eventually do a top 5 and a top 10 as well, but these are the 3 main albums that have had quite an impact on my taste in music. A lot of you who know me very well will know what my number 1 pick is, but the other 2 maybe not so much. So these are my top 3 albums that have influenced my taste in music. And in at number 3 is a bunch of boys originally from Pennsylvania in America, but they travelled all the way to Los Angeles, culminating together to create a very sleazy, pretty kind of band. And that band, which Slash from Guns N' Roses actually auditioned for, but because he didn't quite fit how they looked or how they wanted their music to sound, he didn't get the job. But as Slash was leaving, their dream guitarist was walking in late to his audition, may I just add, and he didn't learn any of the tracks that the guys had sent him. So he just came in, played a couple of stuff that he really enjoyed, and they were like, do you know what? Yeah, we really want him. And that is one of my favourite guitarists ever, and I am hoping to eventually find my version of him in this 21st century world. And that is CC DeVille, who is the guitarist for the glam band that is Poison. Now, my mum introduced me to this band via this album, which is their greatest hits album. She said, give this a listen, and, you know, if you like it, you can then go on to listen to a lot of other things. This was in the early stages of YouTube as well. And I'd seen Look What the Cat Dragged In. I think it was that one that was on VH1 Classics one night. It was bands of the 80s. I saw that music video. But it wasn't until I went through this album and I found a lot of gems. And I mean, Open Up and Say Ah is one of the greatest albums that is being released in this kind of genre. I'm not saying in general before people get upset, but just in general. And it's got great track, Nothing But a Good Time, Talk Dirty to Me, Unskinny Bop. Now, I really like that track. My brother isn't necessarily a huge fan of him, so when I used to blare him out, he was 10 at the time, so I was just really uncool. He didn't really like them, but eventually he came to appreciate them in their own way. But they are definitely one of my favourite bands. They are on my top list of bands to see, because everybody's got a bucket list, and they are one of them. So fingers crossed after the pandemic, and then they do their worldwide tour in North America with Motley Crue and Def Leppard, they will eventually come over to Europe. I'll travel anywhere in Europe just the same. Even if they don't do a gig here in the UK, I will travel anywhere to go and see them. But yes, Poison is at number 3. And at number 2 is a brilliant band who are known mainly for their fights within the band, as well as everything else that goes on, and mainly because one album took the best part of nearly 15 years to make, because the singer himself decided that he was going to fire everybody. And I mean, the list of people that contribute to that album is absolutely insane. My brother showed me the list and it's just mad. Also, one of my favourite guitarists, DJ Ashba, played with them for a little while. He has then gone on to play in a band called 6am with Nikki Sixx of the famed Motley Crue. But the band that I am talking about, who I saw finally in 2017 with my brother, we spent the best part of 28 hours awake just so we could see them. We left at 6:30 in the morning and got back into our bed at 8, 9 o'clock the next morning. I went to sleep for an hour and then I was at work at 10. So, but it was worth it. It really was. And that band and album that influenced my taste in music is Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. It's a fantastic album. It's absolutely amazing. It's got all of my favourite tracks in there. And this is the first vinyl that I myself own and that somebody bought me for Christmas. So I love it very much. Very iconic. Very iconic. And yeah, I mean, the first track of theirs that I saw was Welcome to the Jungle. Axl Rose stepping off that bus in LA with his hair massive. He was my red hair back combed icon. My hair is so flat today, it's awful. But he was one of my main influences for have my hair back combed, because it's like, well, he's ginger and he can do it, so why not? Yes, okay, it's a guy, but it doesn't matter. And I was just blown away by Axl's vocal range, by Slash's guitar skills, and Duff McKagan is an absolutely amazing bassist. And obviously there's Steve Adler and Izzy Stradlin as well, who make up the band that is Guns N' Roses. They have had loads of fights, loads of falling outs, kicking outs, back together. So when they did the Not in This Lifetime tour, I was determined that I was going to see them. I thought I may never ever see them again, I don't know, so I didn't care how much the tickets were going to be. I was going to get them and we were going to go, me and my brother, and it was one of the best nights that we ever had. And Jason Momoa actually turned up and he was stood behind him. My brother wet his pants because he's a huge Stargate Atlantis fan. Nerd, but he loves it very, very much. And he wet himself at the fact that Jason Momoa was stood just behind us with his wife enjoying Guns N' Roses. It was an amazing night, and to be fair, I can't wait to see them again. So that is my number 2, Guns N' Roses with Appetite for Destruction. Now, my number 1 pick is a band that I found all on my own. See, like with Poison, my mum introduced them to me. Guns N' Roses, I kind of stumbled upon them, but my brother made me listen to them a bit more and a bit more in depth. And there's another band as well that he introduced me to, which I have grown to love very, very much. But they will be in another top list of mine. But this band I found all on my own. My brother doesn't really like him. My dad, no, definitely doesn't like him. My mum liked the popular songs, but she wasn't really that into him. And this band, I fell in love all by myself. And to be honest, I went to the stage of maybe being a bit of a teenage stalker, if you want to call it that. I found out every bit of information that I could about the lead singer as well as the band. I know things in and out. I've read a lot of books. I've watched like loads of documentaries about them, and yeah, it's a band that I've held very close to my heart. I have bought every album up until What About Now. That was the last one that I bought or I was given as a gift, and it's mainly because the dynamic of the band has changed, because one of the main components left. Apparently it was over money, as well as rights to this, that and the other. They said it was kind of a mutual thing, and the lead singer said it was a bit of a surprise that he decided to up and leave, which is such a shame. I'm lucky enough to have seen them with this guy who left, but I've seen them without, and I can definitely say that I do prefer the guy being with them. I saw them first in 2011, and that was the first band that I ever saw live, and that band is Bon Jovi. Everybody knows how much I love them so much. When I went and saw him, I had to get the rhinestone t-shirt. It cost me 40 quid. It's the most I've spent on a glittery top, let's just say that. And rhinestones as well. Very American, but I love them very, very much. I can't wait to get my Bon Jovi inspired tattoo. My brother has got his whole top half of his left arm is dedicated to me, and that's an interpretation of the Bon Jovi heart and dagger. If you don't know, he is called Patrick, and he has a beautiful, beautiful tattoo that was done for me, and very, very proud. I love it very, very much. But the first album that I ever bought of theirs, which is my number 1 album on this list, is Have a Nice Day. The very iconic red face. I am going to get that tattooed on me, but I'm going to have a personal spin on it. I can't wait to work with Reggie of 4 Dragon Tattoos to create this piece. It's going to be great. I mean, look at them all. Oh, handsome boys. I love them very, very much. And I mean, the state of is actually quite well. Like, I looked after it so much because I love it. I mean, I've taken the album cover out and read it upside down and inside out. It's cracked, it's battered, it's scratched, but I do love it so much. There's only one track on there that I don't like, and that's Wildflower, which comes in at number 7 on the album. That track I tend to class as the preview of what was yet to come. There wasn't great tracks. I mean, after this came the Lost Highway album, which is a country album, which they only went on to do that because the track Who Says You Can't Go Home hit number 1 in the country music charts in America. And they were like, do you know what? We could do a whole album. It's a great album. I really do enjoy that album, but that's not what Bon Jovi is to me. And yeah, it was just a bit of a disappointment. But because I saved up my Christmas money, my birthday money, and I didn't really get pocket money as a kid. My mum and dad couldn't afford to give me, like, you know, money here and there for doing jobs that I should do because my mum and dad told me so. So I saved up Christmas and birthday money and Easter money, and I bought that for myself. And it's very, very much treasured to me. I love it so much. I'd be devastated if I couldn't get it. I have ordered it on vinyl. It will eventually come. I can't wait. But yeah, there's a lot of tracks that speak to me as a person. I feel daft saying that, but they do. They really do. And Jon Bon Jovi became my ultimate teenage obsession. I love him far too much. Far too much. I loved him in the 80s, 90s, maybe when he did a solo stuff, Destination Anyway, he was rather handsome in that. That's a brilliant album. You should check that album out too. And yeah, when he then came out with It's My Life in 2000 on the Crush album, which is a brilliant track. Even my brother will admit that the Crush album is a fantastic album. Yeah, I was completely blown away, and he captured my heart. I printed at school. I would like take screenshots of the YouTube videos and put them onto Word, crop them, highlight them, make them all pretty. And I used to print them off in the library so then I could cut them out and stick them on a collage on my wall. I've still got all of them pictures in a plastic wallet in the garage somewhere, so when I find it I will show you guys how much I loved it. I had him all over my wall, and I had a huge poster that my gran got for me, an A2 poster that she got, and when one of my friends decided to draw all over it as a laugh, I was livid. I was beyond livid. So they really mean far too much. I even got a picture of Jon Bon Jovi's house in Miami because it was in a magazine, so I cut it out and stuck it on a wall. And when he did the advertisement for Kenneth Cole's aftershave, cut that out and stuck that on my wall as well. I used to give it a kiss every night before I went to bed. I was that obsessed with him. But I hope one day I can find my own Jon Bon Jovi, or my CC DeVille, or my own Axl Rose, not as much as an asshole, but you know what I mean. Maybe not ginger. I don't find ginger guys attractive. Very rarely do you find a ginger guy that's attractive. But anyway, I hope to find my blonde, handsome rocker someday. Whether he'll be interested in me is a completely different matter. But I would like to. But yes, at number 1 is my darling Bon Jovi with Have a Nice Day. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you liked those top 3 albums there. I will do another list compiled of a lot more other bands that have influenced my taste in music. My radio show, GLAMRAT'S, has just done a special episode dedicated to all the tracks that have influenced me, especially from things like Limp Bizkit, Marilyn Manson, Drowning Pool, Blink-182, The Offspring, My Chemical Romance, yes, I know, Linkin Park and everything like that. They all influenced my taste in music. And of course, AC/DC. Now you have my brother to thank for that. You have my brother to thank for my love for AC/DC. But I hope you guys did enjoy it. Like, subscribe, click, whichever. Please do share or whatever. I like comments as well. Please do leave me comments and let me know who your favourite albums are. And please check out my other videos. I've got a This Is Me playlist. I've got my music interviews with Ryan Roxy and Black Tree Vultures. I've got all of them too. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, lots of love, GLAMRAT'S. Bye bye. Bye bye.